all the cops knew I was gay. They were calling me Cupcake. They were making fun of me, commenting on my clothes. And so like I was really alone. Imposter syndrome can stop people.
How do you deal with that?
I still do the same type of talking to God like he's right here, like I did in the jail cell. Everyone's got something, but
Yeah.
we stop ourselves from doing it. The reason why I went viral in the first place was
What is your honest take on dating in LA?
dating in LA can be
What happens when you create something that's authentic and you get crickets?
winning awards, 500,000 followers. I live alone in Santa Monica. I love the car that I drive. I've got great friends. Like that's a transformation that a lot of people don't get to have.
No.
Welcome to Aware with Seb, a globally ranked podcast about leveling up your mind, business, and life. I bring you experts, artists, and CEOs. We talk money, biohacking, mindset, AI, leadership, and spirituality. Everything that makes you more aware. Because awareness makes better humans. And better humans make better friends, partners, lovers, and leaders. Let's go.
Justin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Just so you know, there's already an intro about you, so I'm not going to introduce your excellence right now. But you said something right before we started that I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to ask you about that. And so we're just going to get weird and vulnerable immediately because you said it's weird. Lately, I've been thinking that I've been feeling a bit more imposter syndrome more so than usual.
Yeah.
And when I myself or people from the outside see this successful man with over 500,000 followers, educating on the internet, getting paid to go speak and cut celebrity hair and like all this stuff,
Yeah.
I think we see you as a master of your craft who doesn't get worried or nervous or ever gets imposter syndrome. What do you think this imposter syndrome's come from?
I mean, it's just the newest wave of emotions. Like stress happens, worry happens. And like, I think I love that about my story because I've never not felt something that was almost the opposite of what is being reflected. And so, but it's there, but I guess it's a superpower in a way because it's like it's just a matter of control over those things.
Yeah.
Like if I can decode it in my brain and I can like put it aside when I have to go do something on the camera or if I have to show up for a job, then I see it as like, it's fine. Like it doesn't consume me. But
So you're compartmentalize. Wow, that word just got me all of a sudden. I'm just going to skip it. You said you're able to sort of
did I just say that?
put it aside. No, I
That's what I meant.
compartmentalize. There we go. Is that what you're doing in a sense? You kind of
In a way.
I'm gonna stop being worried. I'm gonna go execute.
Yeah, out of like pure desperation for like performance. So like because I have to like I know what I need to do, I know what my job is,
Yeah.
and I know now like what is required of me in order to deliver, then I just got to focus on that.
That's great.
Yeah, and
That's-
then half the time I find that it wasn't real,
Yeah.
but it's a struggle. It's like, yeah, all those things you said are true, but at the same time, like I still care. And I feel like when people don't have those things in the back of their mind, like those insecurities, and not even insecurities, but like a little bit of fear, a little bit of worry, if you're getting stressed out, like it's not that they don't care, but there's people out there that like just don't have that at all. And then they can perform to a certain level. But I've always been told like, why were you so worried about that? Like you did so well. And it actually set you apart because you weren't like by the book, or you weren't following a script, or you weren't like looking at this as like a clock in, clock out situation.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let it be. Like, so right now, imposter syndrome is what's happening.
Okay.
And
Is it around a specific thing, or just
it's
in general?
It's a situation.
Okay.
So like, it's because like everything changed this year.
Okay.
And so for me, like not in a bad way, but just, I did not expect the changes in my career to happen this year. Like
Big shifts.
big shifts.
Yeah.
Like big boy hats had to be put on, like lots of new things.
Yeah.
So, it used to be, I knew exactly what to post. All I had to do was post it and it would just go crazy. I knew exactly what to wear. I knew how to talk. I knew how to fit in. And then now I'm facing like new goals that I don't know how to fit in there. And if I was in like a room of other business owners, I would kind of feel like the small person because like it's
Interesting.
new to me. So, I opened my own salon,
Yeah.
got to see it the other
That's
day.
right. Got to experience it.
And so ownership rather than, for everyone watching or listening, previously I was under a corporation most of my career. So I got to blossom and nothing fell on my shoulders as I grew. So, if I messed up, well, it's okay because then 10 other people are going to stand up for me.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be an explanation and everyone's going to find the light in the situation. But then now when you focus on like, okay, no, I need to start something on my own because what's going to happen if I lose this? What's going to happen in 5 years from now?
Yeah.
I need to start like owning my social media channels and my partnerships. But then like, I'm a hairstylist at the end of the day. So I can't lose that core of my career doing hair. So I was like, if I don't start it now, even if it's a year from now, I'm going to say, gosh, if I would have just started a year ago. But like even worse, if it was 10 years from now, I'm going to look back and be like, if I would have just started that 10 years ago. So I'm in the moment where I've like welcomed every new thing that I needed to do to accomplish that. And so along with that, I feel like fear. It's like, work out. Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
What are people going to think when they walk through the door? Like,
sure.
Is this picture I hung up stupid? Like this,
those
little things.
Little things.
The little things. But you said something cool too, that like you're very, until everything's the way you want it to be or the way you envisioned it or better, then you're just not going to stop. And so it's all intertwined. So like, yes, there's fear and worry, but then I also know in the back of my mind, like I know exactly how it's going to be. So it's like in the process, you have to like not let imposter syndrome stop you because it's just like there. Like you need to just see it.
It's information.
Give it a nod. I see you. And
That's
then
right.
just keep going because otherwise imposter syndrome can stop people.
Absolutely.
It'll stop people for years. It stopped me for years.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
So was there a moment years ago when there was a shift when you knew that you were going to become really good at something or you were going to sort of shine or have a big shift that got you into the limelight in regards to your career? Or
I kind of always knew.
Yeah?
Like there's been moments throughout my life where like, when I wasn't doing so hot or like when I was like a troublesome kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would tell one of my friends, he was one of my best friends when we were younger. I was like, if we're this good at being bad and imagine how successful we're going to be in life.
That's great.
Later on. And,
That's stuck,
and it turned out to be true. And half the time when I involve a friend in something like that, it's usually I'm talking about myself because like, pulling friends into like the things that in your heart doesn't always land, but as far as current success and like what people see right now, and when I get to live, like it may have not happened if I hadn't made one choice. So there was a haircut that I knew. So you said like, was there a time where you like something like sick, like dignified or whatever, a move forward moment become successful? Like I actually had it a long time ago and then I ignored it for like years. So the haircut, there's one haircut that made me go viral. I told you this story, but I posted the haircut.
Yeah.
And I woke up to 10,000 followers because I was stuck at 7 for years.
Okay.
And then got on a phone call, got off a conference call. I had to like present for an hour and 45 minutes and then got off the call and I was at 25,000 followers, just like within that 2-hour period.
What year was this?
This was like 2022.
Not that long ago.
No.
Okay.
But then, I said by the end of this year, I want to get to 100,000 followers because I couldn't believe what had happened, like how much traction I built. And by the end of that year, I hit 200,000. So I exceeded even my own expectations. But the reason why I went viral in the first place was a haircut that I was taught like several years prior. And then I would post pictures of that haircut when I had like 700 followers, 1,000 followers. And then it became the cut that made me money behind the chair. So it's something I knew really well. And people started asking, like, what haircut is this? How do I, like, can you, like, what do they call this? And there was no name to it because one of my mentors, Bobby Blackstone, he's been doing hair for like, I don't know, since forever.
Okay.
In my world. He was doing hair like in the 80s on platforms, kind of like what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Taught me this haircut, and then there was no name to it. But then people were asking, like, what is this haircut? And I remember in like 2015, 2016, somebody was like, I said, should I make a video? Typed it on my Instagram comments. And they were like, yes, please. I'm going to make a video. Never made the video. And then fast forward, like I got sort of wanting to be popular on social media for my hair.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for
Yeah.
I was like, how am I going to become an educator? I have a Google search.
You wanted to become an educator.
Yeah. And I had a Google search. I think I still have the tab saved. How to become how do I become an educator? Like I would go out on my breaks.
Yeah.
And research, like, because there's no one in my world that could help me with that, because I don't know. I just felt like I didn't have anyone that had what I wanted yet.
Okay.
But
Which is a great thing when you don't have somebody that you wanted, you want to create it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to hang around people that have what you want, is what I've always thought. But that haircut, like, I was like, I can't go on social media and teach this haircut. People are going to think I'm like that I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, they like the result, but I'm probably going to sound like an idiot talking about how to get there, because I'm probably not doing it right. I don't know how to teach people how to do this. But then
To those imposter syndrome back then.
yeah, it's been around, and it's just like resurfacing. Right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think it can be used in a good way. It could be used for
Absolutely.
to push you forward. But anyways, long story short, that haircut, I got a paid job. So it was like $1,700, you know, and I was like, oh, this is huge. This is the most anyone's ever paid me for social media. And the manager was like, we love that you do models. We love that you're super like poppy and like, you know, current with trends and stuff. Like, you like to do makeup on the girls, but like, we need something educational, not entertaining. And I was like, okay, but I'd built everything in that moment off of like being cool, being like trendy, having like the
I'm fun too, probably, yeah.
And so I had to shift, and I was like, well, all I know how to do is this one haircut. And so, and I pulled out my camera, pulled out this mannequin head, put it on a tripod, and my boyfriend at the time filmed me, like, and there was like one ring light. The lighting was horrible. And then I did the haircut, and that's the haircut. The haircut that I told myself was like not good enough. I didn't know how to teach it. It wasn't gonna be good enough. And not just that year, but like all those years since that person said, please make a video. So
That's
it's
crazy.
always like, what if I had done it back then?
Who knows, right? You don't know. Maybe it happened for a reason, the exact time that it was meant to happen. Because that was the shift, right? That was the thing that changed the trajectory ultimately.
Yeah. But like, I guess the moral of the story here is like, how many years are you going to let imposter syndrome stop you from doing what you already have?
Yeah.
Like, you have money in here, you've got popularity, you got new friends, you got opportunities. Like, everyone's got something, but we stop ourselves from doing it. Like, the thing that scares us. Like, I was scared to come here today. I was like, what are we going to talk about?
Oh man, look at you! You're so articulate.
Through the door.
I
I'm
love
walking
it.
through the door anyways.
I love it, Justin. I think that we all need to hear that. I need to hear it all the time, because I personally also have procrastinated like crazy on things that I've wanted to try, test, achieve, because of the unknown of the result, or because of not knowing if I would do it good enough, or if what other people think about me, you know. And it's funny. I heard a quote, and I can't remember it right now, but it was like something like, there's someone out there right now who is way less talented and more stupid and less intelligent, all these things than you, but they don't give a shit about what people think, and they're like, yeah. It's kind of something like that, right? And it's interesting. So yeah, it's imposter syndrome is the thing that I constantly think about and deal with, and I think we all deal with it, you know. And I think in a way, a little bit of fear and anxiety is also good, because you're excited about doing something new it's out of your comfort zone a little bit too. And the more you do those things out of your comfort zone, you keep learning, you keep upgrading, and then you'll no longer feel that a little bit of anxiety or fear around it once, and then something else will probably give you fear and anxiety, and it'll probably be something bigger, right?
Or you get fear and I get fear and anxiety sometimes about like being too repetitive, like once you do master something.
It's interesting though, because I've focused a lot on not repeating a lot of the times, and what I realize is that when you don't repeat anything, nothing lands.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
it
what are you
doesn't
known
stick.
for?
Yeah, things don't stick. So personally, I've learned that even from a lot of the people that I really admire and consume their content, whether it's that I'm reading their books or listening to their podcasts, sometimes I'm like, oh wow, you repeat a lot,
Yeah.
but that's what's stuck.
Exactly.
So it's funny, but when I'm speaking, I'm like, I don't want to repeat anything. So anyways, I've gone back on that.
There's a balance, because like I repost videos that I've made 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of them. I made a lot of videos on my on my social media, but I will repost my best performing videos.
Do they do well?
Yeah, every single time. Like,
And it's like at
sometimes
first you were probably like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel as original redoing it. But it's like, now it's a thing.
it's a thing. And like, I mean, like people, like there's TV shows that get played year after year after year that were made 20-30 years ago.
I never would have thought about that.
But the biggest thing was like, I teach, I speak, I'm on social, but then I go and educate myself too. I go to classes.
Yeah.
There's a lady, her name is Mary. She owns this big publication called BehindTheChair.com.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually a good friend of mine now, but before we had connected over all of my social media success, when she discovered what I was doing, she was a big fan. She became a big fan and a friend. But she said,
what's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying the show. If you love the show, please share it with a homie. It would mean the world to me. Also want to let you know that you can check out sebastiannom.com for more resources like this, and also www.goglobal.agency, a digital marketing agency that's end-to-end, helping purpose-driven and mission-driven brands scale their impact. Again, that's goglobal.agency or sebastiannom.com. Please hit me up straight up on Instagram, DM me, ask me questions. I'd love to connect with you and see what you thought about this episode or other episodes and what you want to hear more of. Much love.
She said, take a look at all of your favorite hairstylists. So if you're a hairstylist and you want to grow on social media, go to your favorite hairstylist. I promise you, they have a video that they've reposted more than 3 times.
More than
in the last
3 times.
Year, at least.
Wow.
At least. And like, if you go to mine, there's a video that gets reposted like 5, 6, 7 times a year. Because when I posted that video, when I first created it, it got me 20,000 followers in a week.
Yeah. So why not keep it going?
Keep it going.
I loved your analogy of the rerun, of the TV rerun. Never judge that.
No.
You know, I'll watch the same episode of Seinfeld like 10 times. That was my show.
When it's good, it's good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I never thought about that one. I'm going to have to. Yeah, that's good. That's good. When you've built a brand around education, creativity, and style, and then as your platform grew, did your style evolve? It was something that you said something to me when you cut me the other day, which, by the way, when you were cutting me, you were doing something that I've never experienced, because you were just grabbing like different strands of hairs, just like,
yeah.
There was no like, you know, typically like most men's cuts are like they're like getting measured. Everything's kind of like looking symmetrical.
Like,
yeah. And I loved it. I was like, oh, let's fucking go. But anyway, so as your platform was evolving and growing, was your style evolving and growing? Was it something like, because I know you have this mindset about sort of like never settling and always learning. But was it like a thing where you kept doing that as you were growing? You never got comfortable?
I mean, I would continue to evolve things, but like I said, when it works, and like, you know, the more you repeat things, the more it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was actually a challenge. So when I was growing, I was like, what's the next thing that's going to get the same exact engagement? Like, what's going to get me booked again at that cool event?
Mm-hmm.
And so like, it was actually like, I was not prepared. When you grow that fast, it's really hard to feel prepared, because then brands are hitting you up, and then people recognize you, and you're at a trade show or an event, and then people are, you know, everything changes. And then you feel like this very heavy responsibility to like stay current and do what you did again, but better.
Yeah.
And so over this like 3-4 year period, I've learned like that there's a chase that you can fall into, and then it's actually not that fun. It's actually like horrible to like be so consumed with like searching for like what's gonna pop off next.
How do you deal with that? How do you
You just have to stay authentic. Like posting things that like, you know, whatever your core values are, like if you don't have them I didn't have any, I was just trying to make it, you know? So like,
Yeah.
I did fall into that path of where I was like, gosh, like what do I need to become? What do I need to learn? And it all ends up being part of the story, which is a great story.
Sure.
But like I struggled with it because I was more so like panicking over not having the right content or, you know, coming off the right way.
You were trying to find the trend, trying to find the thing
Yeah.
that would get people like you to engage with you.
And to keep this going. Like I didn't want to
Keep
lose
growing,
it
growing,
when
growing.
I got here.
Yeah.
So, but then I learned over time, like it's more so like it always lands to when it's the most authentic to you. It'll always take you back there. And like there's so much. First of all, there's so much that you have within one genre of like whatever. So out of haircuts, I'm really good at certain ones. Even though I may only be good at one haircut, there's so much to talk about in one haircut when you're trying to reach and add value to other people in their lives. And you think you hit a million views. There's you know how many other millions there of people there are that haven't seen that video yet?
No, yeah.
And so there's just so many people in the world. So like I've learned like, okay, like someone may have like viewed my video, but like have I made an impact on them yet? So I was just like, I'm just gonna keep doing me. And then I all of that other noise kind of fell away.
That's awesome, Justin. That's actually really great insight. Just for me personally, right, as someone who's creating as well, to think about that concept of there are so many human beings out there.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to fall into the like sort of like who you see around you and kind of like the people that you're following and that you like, you know, having your own circle, your own algorithm, and then your own physical circle.
Yeah.
Right. But when we're talking about social and education, I mean, the world's your oyster. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
Reach anybody in the world, which is amazing.
It's true. And like the best thing that's happened from my social media growth is like when people tell me like, you helped me make more money. And like, yeah,
I'm just going to lower that a little bit.
You've helped me make more money, like from somebody in Brazil or like somebody in like, you know, Spain, other countries, like people I would probably never see or speak to. So like, you helped me so much. I used to hate haircutting. Now I get it. Like I can watch your videos and like, I'll watch them before a client comes in and then I'll do it and I kill it.
Wow.
And so that's the
pretty
best.
rewarding right there. That's
yeah. And so like the concept of social media and then the number of followers is like so it's different now. It's about to be 2026 and we can't be like looking at numbers, which like someone could be like, well, that's easy for you to say because you already got what you were working towards. But
sure.
But and I actually don't have what my main goal is like, you know, I'm on like my road to like 1 million followers now. But it's I'd like to get there the right way.
Yeah.
And maintain that connection with people. And so when it comes down to like growing and wanting to like, you know, figure out how do you stay authentic, then that's just a whole that's a one path that'll carry you all the way through.
What happens when you create something that's authentic and you get crickets?
You just keep going. That's a good point actually, because I've figured out what hits for me as a stylist. And then it wasn't being cool. It wasn't having the prettiest models. It's actually the opposite. It wasn't having the best hairstyles and like the coolest clothes on the girls or like being the hottest or most funny person.
Okay.
And I do hair. It was like I added value to other people's lives.
That's great.
That's it. Like, so now I just follow that and then I will never fail as far as like, it's not even an algorithm thing. There's people's eyes are on there and they might get tricked here and there by the algorithm or like fall into a pattern.
Yeah.
But like when someone sees that they're going to learn something and then, or they see themselves in what you're doing, or they see like something that they can like take away. And then you've on purpose created that force, whoever's watching, you'll always be successful. It's wild because, but when you do post something and you get crickets, it's like so defeating, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, I had to get through that, and
we work hard though. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You put all this work. Sometimes you put money into it, and then it's
of course.
Damn, why does nobody care?
Yeah.
It's just like I can't even explain it because I just kept going.
Yeah. I've had several moments where throughout the growth of my podcast and things like that, where I'd go a little bit of time kind of hearing crickets a little bit, where I was like, like I was creating content, I was putting things out there, but they weren't kind of like getting a lot of action at all. And then I was like, when I was really thinking like, why am I even doing this shit? Like, who's somebody care? And then as soon as I would start to think that way, I would all of a sudden get like 3-4 random messages, whether it was DM or an email or someone like literally texted me like, hey Seb, I just want you to know that like I heard this and that you put out thing that you put out there, or I heard this podcast and blah blah blah, and it really made a difference. Like it did this, it changed the way I think about something, and it was these like little like hits of confirmation of like, okay, all right, if it's making a difference and it's bringing value, then it matters, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. Justin, you won several awards, and you won a hat trick of awards.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What was that like?
It was wild because like it was actually during the phase where I would consider myself very, very like new to social media.
Yeah.
But whatever industry you're in, it's usually like multifaceted. There's different pockets of an industry. And so for me, when you're a hairstylist, you have editorial, you have salon, you have commercial, you have like educators. You can be you could be a CEO of a beauty company as like a hairstylist.
Yeah.
There's just so many different things you can do. So I was like kind of on a team where like there was one of each one of those people. So then I got to learn from like the editorial stylists and the people entering competitions and the people that were making, several hundred thousands of dollars behind the chair. Like there's like success all around me. So I was like dabbling in all of it. So I was like, well, I like how I want to win an award. So I was like, I'm going to enter. And like,
What was the category?
So the first one I won was it was a haircut shot of the year. So it was like out of all the haircuts that were submitted, the owner of this publication chose like her favorites. She's like the Anna Wintour of hair. It's Mary, I was telling you about earlier. She like picks a bunch of these photos out of all these submissions, and then she takes them and passes them over to like a board of people.
What is this? What's the overarching organization?
Behind the chair.
Behind the chair. Got it.
Yeah. It's like the Vogue, like the Marie Claire, the People magazine of hair.
Of hair.
Yeah. And it's like
no big deal.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But like, within our industry, that's what's
hell yeah.
Everyone's got something within their industry that like
that's awesome.
And I mean, if you're lucky enough, you can have some type of access to like a community like that.
Yeah.
But she passes all these selections over to like previous winners. Chris Appleton was one of the judges at the time, and then like people that have won like international awards, or they've like like I think just like big name people that don't have any skin in the game. Like they're not trying to win awards anymore. They're just like giving a nod as they can. So then they will pick separately. And when they're not together, it's like everyone just gets sent the pictures, and then the numbers get sent back to her, and the winner is the one that everyone collectively liked the most.
Yeah.
And so it's a funny story because I was backstage. I was about to present someone their award, and it was my first time, so I had no idea what I was doing back there. I was just holding someone's award and then the ticket in my hand, and then one of the girls that work there, she's like, my handler backstage, like she's like, you're about to go up, and then they're like, oh my god, this is the category you're nominated in. But I was nominated with all of these other stylists, like giant stylists that I've looked up to for years.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you need to listen. Your name might get called. And I was like, there's no way. I had lost every other category, like the beginner categories, the newcomer categories.
Got it.
I was in the audience.
Those are the ones you may have a shot at
waiting
the time.
for it. And I'm like, I was like, okay,
yeah.
There's no way I'm getting this one.
Right.
They've named the top 5 out of like the top 50, and then I'm the last one they call, and then my name gets called, and I look at her and I grab her arm and I was like, shut up. And then they get, there's like 20 seconds from that point before they
sure
the winner. And so I'm holding this award, I'm holding her arm, and then they call my name, and I couldn't believe it. Like I still, to this point, I'm like still, it's like looking back, the more I tell the story, the better it gets, because it was such a surreal experience. I
Yeah.
didn't know what to say. I didn't know if I should be crying, if I should be laughing, or like if I should feel. I didn't know how to feel.
Wow.
And so after that, I would enter every single year, but then I would make it like a point to like prioritize this. Like, this is a goal, so it needs to feel like a job. So I would work on my days off. I would work before work, after work, network with people, get the right models, and then
For your submissions.
yeah.
And you won 3 years in a row.
Yeah, 3 years in a row. And the last time I won, this guy, Stevie English from Australia, he was there.
Yeah.
And he has been a friend of mine on social only for like a really long time.
Uh-huh.
And he comes up to me, he's like, how'd you do it? And I was like, what? And he's like, we call that a hat trick.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's a hat trick? He's like, nobody wins 3 times in a row. He's like, but you did, so good job. Because he's
That's
done it
epic, man.
too.
Yeah. Congrats.
Like
That's awesome.
It's called a
Justin.
hat trick. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
But the biggest
I love
thing
it.
is like you can win awards and like it can turn into a popularity contest.
Yeah.
It can turn into like what, you know, people can get consumed by like, oh, I suck because I didn't win. But like, if you did it the way you wanted to do it, and you went in and you like scheduled that time, you went and scoured Instagram and like networked hard enough to get the perfect model to be down to trade or down to like collaborate, and then you got like everything lined up, makeup, extra hair, wardrobe, the photographer, like that, you can't feel bad about yourself if you did it right. So that's just how I believe. Like,
It's also just the process,
Yeah.
right? You got on the field, you played the game, right?
Right.
And you did your best playing the game. Maybe
Yeah.
you didn't win the cup. I'm a sports guy, right? So I'm
Yeah.
going to analogize it with the sports. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
How do you you work your ass off. So, there's a fine line between momentum and burnout and just like really getting after it and burning out. Do you know when you're creating from alignment versus when you're creating from pressure?
sometimes yes, sometimes no,
Yeah.
because sometimes I'm just working for the sake of working. Like,
You're just
you're supposed to be.
you're in the mode. You're
Yeah.
keep going.
And like, there's a lot of filler time when you have big goals, sometimes you're actively working and it has nothing to do with like the big goal.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, working from a place of like pressure compared to working from a place of alignment, like, you're lucky if you get to work from a place of alignment. I feel like that's
Yep.
more of a blessing.
Totally.
Because sometimes when you try to orchestrate alignment and authenticity too much, like, you end up becoming the opposite. So like, it's a weird like push-pull in like the world of like the spiritual realm of like goal.
Like following your passion and being fully aligned and all that.
Yeah.
You feel that there's that sometimes the pressure is kind of needed to keep moving forward and succeed. And then yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes like,
Yeah.
you're like, how the hell did I get through that?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, specifically, like, I opened this salon suite, and I was supposed to open on August 8th, and
Yeah.
then it was supposed to be August 8th, October 8th, September 8th, October. It was just every month.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be the beginning of every month for 4 months, and like, I was getting so defeated, but like, I just kept decorating and painting those damn walls, and like, I was like pretending to like book clients and like making sure the process was all right. And so that was like a pressure moment. Like, I could have given up, found a place that was already open and ready to start at. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like if you're moving forward authentically, like, you'll find alignment somehow. But like,
Yeah.
usually when you get that, it's like, it's a moment where like the powers that be are like doing something for you that you can't do for yourself.
I think ideally, in an ideal world, I think pressure is good, right? Pressure makes diamonds, as they say.
Yeah.
But it's how we relate to the pressure and how we relate to the anxiety or the fear of the unknown and the stress. Because we can experience the exact same things at different times of our lives.
Yeah.
And at one point, it felt like horrendous anxiety and fear and this and that. And another point, it was almost like, oh, it was fun. It was just pressure. And it was just
Isn't
like
that crazy?
Yeah, so it's almost like the meaning that we attach to it, right? I definitely have a big thing with with just not control per se, but definitely the fear of the unknown of the future. Like, is this going to work out or not work out? Like, that's where my mind always goes. And I would like want to plan everything perfectly and strategize everything perfectly so that the outcome is exactly what the planned outcome is.
Yeah.
And the more I care about that, first of all, sometimes it's like almost like the least likely that it'll happen. And
that's
the more I care, the more stressed out I am about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the more stressed out I am, the less present I'm going to be, the less creative I'm going to be around it. So it's just an interesting thing to have. I think it's an ongoing learning for me, at least, like having a North Star and having a goal that you set, but allowing to also let that be loose and come out differently and come out potentially better than you expected, and then detach and just let go. It's hard though.
It's very hard.
It's hard.
But it's a lesson. When it's hard, it becomes that same thing. When it's hard and you let it be hard, like it becomes the same thing you just said, which is like, because it's going to happen again, but then you're going to look at it completely different. And you're going to be able to be under pressure, like in ways and new ways later on. It's just true. Like circling back to the beginning of our conversation, like these things can stop people from accomplishing their dreams. And it's so sad because like everyone has something.
Yeah.
And so I think that the way that you think about it is so interesting because like it's not exactly the way that I think about this. But like what you just said was very profound about like when you experience something that feels like your world's falling apart, but then like you get through it and you were just like your integrity, like you stood firm the whole way through, and then it can happen again. But then you've gone through it. It's like that muscle memory, and then you kind of like, one day you can laugh at it. One day you can look back and be like, well, we've been here before. And then it becomes like part of the story.
You know what I think is an interesting thing is that we're in a moment in time where there's so much reinvention that needs to happen all the time because of AI, because of socials, because of trends, that it's a little bit tougher than it used to be in a sense. It's almost like, one could learn a trade before and you had the right connections and you got pretty good at something and you're kind of set, right? Now it feels like, at least in my world of digital, and it's just like, even now, right? Like, for example, with social, in your case, you've got this big following of over 500,000 followers. And like before, if you had the following, it meant that you had the reach every single time. And now they've kind of democratize reach so that you can have someone with 5,000 followers go full viral, which is awesome, right? Which is really cool. But at the same time, if you've worked really hard to get all the followers and now you're no longer guaranteed that you reach your people, it's like, well, shit now, So it's all these things that keep changing constantly with AI coming on and really just truly taking a lot of people's jobs, right? And people needing to reinvent constantly. It's just an interesting thing where I think we have to learn that reinvention is just now the new constant. Change is the constant that's going to keep happening with reinventing ourselves in careers, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any personal rituals or like mindset habits or rituals that help you keep sharp, or like reminders that help you ease that anxiety or that imposter syndrome that comes up from time to time?
I do. I pray constantly all day long. It's
all day long.
Yeah, all day
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the other day.
Who do you pray to?
So like, I was raised Catholic.
Yeah.
Then of course when you are gay, I wasn't kicked out of my church or anything.
Yeah.
But like, it's hard to feel like that like maybe your church wasn't that way, but like most churches are gonna like reject you. Then like it makes you second guess like
it's gnarly,
your religion. And so then I don't know, I turned like 16, 17, and then I went on this journey of like a God of my own understanding.
Yeah.
And like I was like, well, that they're saying God is like this, and like I've had experiences with God that are my own. And so like there's just a lot of unexplained things. And so when I go on dates, or like when someone asks me this question, I say like there's times I say like my creator, like I'll pray to my creator, or I'll pray just to like I'll pray that to the God, the power, the higher power that got me out of this, that transformed me into who I am, that the things that I couldn't do from it, there's things that have happened in my life where like could have died, You know, maybe I don't deserve all of this. Those types of things. Some other higher power was involved with that. So like when you experience massive transformation like that after trying and trying and trying and trying, and you know, like you didn't do it by yourself, and maybe I'm just speaking for me. That's who I pray to. So I don't really like name it. I'll say Jesus sometimes because you grow up saying that. I'll say that my creator, and then sometimes I'll just be like talking to whoever's listening up in my brain. Like the other day I like popped up out of my bed because I was on my phone for like way too long. And it's just like I was like, I need anointing right now. Like that was all I said. And then I just stared at the wall, and then I just got up off my bed and like walked away from my phone. Yeah. Like sometimes it's just simple, but
how were you able to? That's a really powerful thing that you were telling me, first of all, that, you know, you grow up in a religion, you grow up Catholic. Yeah. And then being a gay man, you feel not accepted specifically, not particularly by your specific church, but perhaps by the overall encompassing religion or just a lot of religions. Yeah. How do you not develop, how are you able to maintain faith in God and sort of recreate your own faith and not hold a grudge against a group or a concept that you felt alienated from?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just someone, my experience might just be my own. Yeah. So over my life, like there's so many things that have been taken away. And I was actually born into a family where like the family I grew up with was beautiful. Like my grandparents adopted us, took us away from like a broken situation. And then I was set. I was chilling. My grandpa was very successful, and like, you know, had all this time because he was retired. So like, I grew up really like chill, and like there was lots of times where I was just like, you know, I grew up with grandparents that were just chilling all the time, you know? So like that's like a mentality like of, I guess, like a peace that I had growing up. But then, you know, we went to church and like the religion thing, and I was like, it just didn't ever fit. And I saw people, and I'm like, I never understood like how they were connecting with this God at that church. And so like, as I grew up and like, I got into trouble, I got into the wrong crowds, I got into things that really kind of like flipped my world upside down. And I got left alone, like in a jail cell. Whoa. Yeah. Like when you get arrested and you're in a cell by yourself, there's something that happens like mentally. Yo. And like
I can imagine.
You can't call anybody. You can't, you know, you're everything's stripped away from you. Literally. And so that was a big thing for me. Oh. Spiritually, like, yeah. So it was just me. And I was at a very young age. And so like that's what developed like my spirituality, because who else are you supposed to talk to? You know, I was in a small town. I was coming out of the closet, and like all the cops knew I was gay. They were calling me Cupcake. They were making fun of me, commenting on my clothes. And so like I was really alone. I couldn't even like console with anyone there if I wanted to. Like,
yeah, you already felt like everyone was against you. Yeah, the whole world was against you.
So like just having that time like made me discover like, just like, I don't know, maybe it's a God within me. Maybe there's a kingdom within me. Maybe there is access to like a God, a higher power. But like all I know is that it didn't stop with that first arrest. Like it just kept going. It kept happening, and it got worse and worse and worse. And so it got to the point where like my life was like crumbling. And so I had to pick myself back up from like basically destroying my life. Yeah. And like I had nobody's trust. I didn't even trust myself. I had all this legal stuff to like correct and like dig myself out of. Yeah. And the odds were against me. And then if you look, I just have to look at where I am now and compare to that. And then there's no fucking way that didn't have that God doesn't exist.
This is when you were in your teens?
Teens to early 20s.
Teens to early 20s. Yeah. It was just one thing after the other? Yeah. From getting in trouble to booze, drugs, whatever.
Get into it and if you want, but like...
No, you don't have to. I'm just like... But yeah.
But like destruction.
Like, self-destruction.
Yeah, complete destruction in like... In the name of like fun.
In the name of fun.
Yeah.
And then kind of finding God throughout that whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's things that like, there's people against me, like probation, parole. Yes, parole.
Mm-hmm.
So like it got that bad.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, not that they don't want you to do well, but they know the statistics. So
Yeah. There's
not
kind of
gonna
like,
be like,
listen,
oh,
disencourage.
they hear you say one thing and they're like, yeah, sure.
And most people don't. Most
No.
people do other. Yeah.
It's usually a lie or it's like not
Yeah.
real. So
Right.
anyways, going from point A to point B, and I keep winning awards, 500,000 followers. I live alone in Santa Monica. I love the car that I drive. Like I've got great friends. Like that's a transformation that like a lot of people don't get to have.
No.
But I always turned to prayer. So like when I say
Love that.
pray, I still do the same type of talking to God like he's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did in the jail cell. The same thing.
The same thing.
Whatever it was that got me out of that.
Wow.
It's the same God I pray to today.
I got the chills thinking about you, just picturing you in the cell praying to God and just like being like this. That's the same God. That's the same prayer I'm having right now, or when I'm,
I mean, when you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Is there something that people assume about you, you think, that is like totally off, or it's just like a totally different thing?
Yeah. Like people that don't know me.
Yeah.
They think that I'm like mean or like
Really?
scary. Yeah. Or like very gay or very.
Very gay.
Because like if you go to my Instagram, you see some of my pictures.
Yeah.
Shiny red pants with like belts all over them and like a leather jacket with studs. Like
Yeah.
the most recent like sexy Santa
Okay.
I posted.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
I
it's
do
sexy.
like to flex on social once in a while. And like I like my hair to look like Freddie Prinze Jr. and I like to pose a certain way. So like I get that like a lot of people don't know if they can come up to me. Or
Yeah.
if
It's like
if
unapproachable.
I'm gonna be mean back to them or if I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like a lot of the other people in the beauty world that have gotten social media success. Because there's people I still won't follow, or if they're walking up to the group I'm at a hair show or at a big event, I will remove myself because I know what they were like when they first went viral. And like I just don't want the energy around me because most of the time people are like, oh my God, I don't know. Like I didn't think you were gonna be mean, but I just didn't know that you were gonna be so nice. And like, you know,
That's a great thing to hear.
yeah. So like,
I love that.
that's a big one.
Yeah. All right. We're going to do a little smash or pass.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. I've never done one, so
Never done a smash or pass?
No.
Okay.
let's do it.
Hey, I'll just take a sip of water here. All right. Here we go, Justin. Smash or pass? Dating another content creator.
Smash.
Celebs who ask for just a little trim, but mean a full transformation.
Pass.
Staying in on Saturday nights.
Smash.
Lash extensions on dudes.
Pass. Hard pass.
Monogamy.
Smash.
Spending $18 on an Air One smoothie.
Smash.
Hard smash. So, self-launching a situationship on IG stories.
Pass.
AI-generated hair consultations.
I give it a good smash once, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Prepping scripts for educational reels and TikToks.
Scripts, pass.
Okay. Cutting someone's hair that you're secretly crushing on.
Smash.
Dating someone with no social media.
Smash.
And letting a hookup model for your content.
Say it again.
Letting a hookup model for your content.
Pass. Yeah.
All right.
Depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of all this, what is your honest take on like dating in LA? What is that like? Especially when you're growing up, when you have, this public brand,
Yeah.
where someone may not know you before they date you, but like maybe they look you up and you've got this sort of public persona. So now that there's like
Yes.
this pre-thing that they're,
It's real. That
Yeah.
what you just said is real.
Yeah.
And it's completely separate from dating in LA. So there's two things.
okay. Yeah. Give me both.
But
Yeah.
dating in LA dating in LA has not been like fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Dating in LA is not easy, but let's see. The biggest example I can give you is that I've been single for 3 years,
Yeah.
and I can like, I just, I don't know. I moved to LA. I started dating. I dated a guy in the Hollywood Hills. He lived in Judy Garland's old house.
Classic.
Up on
Classic
top of
LA
the
move.
hill at sunken night. More sun would rise. We'd click the blinds. They go up,
Sick.
and I'm just like, oh, how nice is this? But he was high on drugs. He lied about who was over when I was there. And so like there's just so many facades in LA. And like there's either a facade that somebody puts up on purpose, and that is like, I have no tolerance for that. I'll see right through it now after I've been here for like, so many years.
Yeah.
But then there's the ones that like people are caught up in and they don't even know they're in it. So then you're up against so many things that like are impossible. So it's like I've come down to the point where I'm like, for not just in LA, but for me, it's going to be someone very, very special. Maybe I should have learned this as a kid, or maybe someone should have told me this a long time ago, but like there truly should only be like one person, and whoever it's going to be. Maybe there's dozens of this type of person, but like there's so many boxes that need to be checked now that I've like put myself first for several years. So
is it boxes or a feeling?
What?
Boxes or a feeling?
Boxes.
Boxes for you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't need a feeling. I've had the feelings. That gets me in trouble. I go off of feelings, and it's a problem. Like I'm not trying to like speed date someone and figure out everything beforehand, but like to your other point, like I just stopped seeing someone that like I feel had like a preconceived notion that like I was going to add A, B, and C to their life because of my following, because of my brand partnerships. He was also a hairstylist. And I think that like the lack of, because I have control over how much I give now, where I was not in control of that before. Like the boundaries are set. It's very strong on my end. Like you do still have to work to get to certain layers of me, because like I'm not taking my heart, I'm taking it very seriously now. But like, I don't know, LA taught me that. So it's like, without that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But now it's really hard for someone to get in. Really hard.
That's the clip we're gonna take. Right? I'm just gonna post that as the real. And it'll just loop. It's really hard to get in, and it just loops.
Well, you can take that.
Hey, I really want
different ways.
Exactly. Oh, that's great. But I'm sure the city of LA has also shaped your ambition, right? And your style and the things that you don't achieve. Yeah.
Well, being in LA, like, for instance, like I live in Santa Monica, and like wherever you live, you forget what you have. I think it's impossible to like forget, or it's impossible to like always be grateful, because like you see your apartment every day, you see your clothes every day, you see yourself in the mirror every day, and then sometimes it like gets dull. And so at least if you're not like that, I fall victim to that every once in a while. And then I'll get called out to like Beverly Hills, and I'll have to go into a salon or like go to an event. And then you see like, for instance, there's one lady, I saw her Montclair on an icon on everything she was wearing. She dropped her car down for like her hair, which like I would have charged like a few $100s for, but she paid like over $1,000 for it. And then, not that I want to be her or anything, but it's you're in LA and you can see a completely different world standing right next to you. And her world is completely different to mine. Like, and so she's living this life. Like, so the way you can develop it, there's no cap here, I feel like. So if you want money, you can make it here. If you want the best of friends, if you want to be single here and then settle down somewhere else, it's just, there's so many opportunities. And like people think like, oh, I need to be in LA because the celebrities are there, I'm gonna make more money, and then that's where it ends. Like there's so many more things.
I think there's like, you kind of have it all, in my opinion, because even from a community standpoint or friendship standpoint, like from a spirituality aspect, there's a ton of fake community and spirituality and friendships, and then there's a ton of real like deep spirituality, community, friendships too. So it's kind of like what you attract and what you're willing to put your invest
That's
in.
scary too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fakeness. There's a lot of fakeness, and there's a lot of real too. It's just more. It's like expanded here.
Yeah,
there's more of everything.
The realness is scarier to me at this point in my life. Like, do I really want to get into like crystals? Because if I go talk to the people that get into it, they're into it. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I'm kind of worried. I'm like, you got to be careful where you step into, because then like,
Yeah.
There's people that go extreme here.
Well, you know, just to put it out there, so clearly both Justin and I have been single for about 3 years. So there's something about, you know, this 2022 thing where ever since then.
Yeah.
So we're both ready, putting it out into the universe.
Yes. We're both ready. For
I don't
anyone
think I've ever
watching.
spoken that out loud actually like that. It's interesting.
Well,
it's
you
probably a
know-
good thing. I mean, I guess I'll tell some close.
Oh, I have something I wanted to say that goes along with that.
Yeah.
Like, and you need to start saying things like that.
Yeah.
Actually. And especially you've got this podcast, you should start saying it more often, like unapologetically, because I saved this Instagram reel that I saw, and it was a guy, and I think I follow him, or he was on like the recommended videos. But anyways, he said you wouldn't go into a coffee shop, have them greet you and say, "What can I get you?" just to say, "Well, I don't want black coffee." And then he's like, you wouldn't just go in and say, "I don't want black coffee," because then if you don't want black coffee, what do you want?
Yeah.
So like that could mean you want one of the other 20 items on the menu.
Sure.
So like if you're just saying like, "I don't want black coffee," then like you're going to take whatever comes your way.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you want it or you don't want it, it's meant for you or not. So like he was basically getting to the point where like you need to be saying like, the way you ask for a partner in life is the way you order a coffee. Like, no, I want steamed milk. I want stevia. I want blonde roast. You know what I mean? Like that stuff. Like that was pretty cool because like just like imposter syndrome can waste years of your life, stop you from doing things. Like that simple shift in like communicating to me with like my higher power, manifesting on full moons and new moons and stuff like that when it's the right time to do it. Yeah. Like the specific asks are like, they're crazy.
So for you, manifesting is it's a specific type of manifestation. I've heard a lot about manifestation. There's obviously a lot of like trends about manifestation. Yeah. Do you have things that you do for manifesting things? Yeah. Okay.
I will tell you one thing. I asked for more in 2022.
Yeah.
I sat in front of my downtown apartment. I had a window that was this big arch. And luckily that night on the full moon, the moon was right there. And I was sitting at my desk, which was right by the window. And I just kept writing and writing and writing. I had this moment and I wrote down like, I want multiple streams of income. I will be known in my industry for my craft. And I was just writing down things like I will, I have, I am. And they all came true.
That's amazing.
And then I won't go into numbers, but there was a number. I had a conference call the next day, and it was like, it may or may not have been a full moon, but I remember I had never told anyone in my life how much money I want to make. But my boyfriend at the time, he's like, I was like, I have a call tomorrow. I'm really irritated. They're going to ask me what I want, and then they're not going to do anything about it. Yeah. So I'm just going to be really obnoxious about it. He's like, what are you going to ask for? I said, I'm going to ask for X amount of dollars per year, or I'm going to move on with my life. Yeah. And I was joking. But 2 years later, I made that exact amount of money. The exact amount of money. That's probably wild. Probably a little bit more. Yeah. And so it's always been when I was specific, whether I was writing down in a journal, trying to be as like A+ specific as I can be, or like I just was talking to the God I told you about, the one that's just up here like every day, all day long, specific. Like, because you can't just say like, God, I just don't want black coffee. Like, please, I just don't want that. Yeah. God, I just don't want a jerk. I don't want anyone like I had before. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be another year, and then I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. My coffee order is a cortado extra hot, believe it or not. So I don't know what that would translate. Maybe a little shorty who's extra spicy. You know what I mean? I'll take it. Yeah, it's funny.
Do you have like what would you say is like your
Oh, I love this. Yeah. The interviewer becomes the interviewee.
Well, I'm curious because I'm actually struggling to put my ask out there for a partner in a specific way. Yeah. I'm struggling to be like,
I think that for me, the reason I asked about the boxes versus certain feelings is that I've had the boxes and I've lacked the feeling personally. So that's for me. I've had a lot of the boxes. And so, sure, there are certain things and there are certain non-negotiables for me, right, that are boxes. For example, my woman has to have a growth mindset, right? So she has to have the mindset to always want to grow and be better, not in a toxic way, but just open-mindedness, right? Also has to have a love for for health, right? For being athletic or for just, enjoying movement, right? Caring about the body. This is good. This is good. We're going to get this all out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is hilarious. This
is a feature.
My mom's going to love this shit when she hears it later. It's hilarious. So I had all these like boxes kind of like sometimes have checked, but I never had this sort of like full fuck yes type feeling of like this like inner gut type thing.
Yeah.
So yes, there are those things. There's this gross mindset. I have to have an attraction. I'm someone that wants to be attracted to someone. Like, period. Some people are like, no, actually, I don't. Attraction is not a thing for me. It's more of like about. And I'm this. For me, it's one of those things, and I'm not afraid to say it. I want to be attracted to my partner. You know what I mean?
It says a lot about you too. It says a lot about how you respect yourself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know. You know what you're offering. You know what you look like in the mirror, and you're like,
hey, we do our best here.
Yeah.
But real talk though, with that, it's that's why for me, there's this sort of I'm trying to lean more into like my gut feeling. Like, is there a gut that's quickly telling me like without the external things of like, hey, there's something here that's driving me versus like, oh, there's like But sometimes, truthfully, though, the whole gut and heart and mind, and sometimes it all get jumbled up, and you're like, oh, is that my gut feeling, or am I overthinking? Right? Yeah. Which is a thing that I always aim to practice, to discern the gut feeling versus the brain overthinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they say your gut is your second brain.
That's right. That's right.
But it's a trip. I mean, I feel like where I'm at in all of that is like, I could make a list. I mean, I don't know. Somebody just walked into my life that basically had a lot of the boxes, minus the height. No shit. But height was not there.
Okay.
But, I was like, okay, everything else is like checking, like spirituality, work ethic.
Yeah.
Funny, has a desire to like be healthy and like manage alcohol consumption. I don't like to drink, but I'll have a drink, but like I don't like to drink that much.
Yeah.
But anyways, all the things were checking and the experience was really nice. Like all my friends loved him, and it's like, but like, I don't know if it's a gay thing, but like I feel like after it ended, I was like, okay, I'm taking more away from this person as far as like I was inspired by this person in these ways. And then like it was actually like a trade. So like sometimes I feel like people come into our lives for that.
That's great though. And you learn from each other.
Yeah. And
you learn about yourself.
The more I ask myself like, okay, why don't I have this gut feeling? Why isn't this working out?
Yeah.
Because I actually have to like flip it back around and look at me, because there's something that needs to happen with me first before I can like have someone that comes in with like 90% of everything I need, and then have it click.
Mm-hmm.
And have that like gut feeling,
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'll stop myself. Stop myself because like, wait, you have everything. Hold on, I'm not ready.
See, that's where it comes into the concept of competing intentions, right? So it's like you say or think you want one thing, but then there's this either subconscious or conscious thought or thing inside of you that wants something else that competes or is actually afraid to get what this is.
Yeah.
So you've got these competing intentions that are stopping you from getting that. Yeah. The competing intentions concept is quite interesting because it's like
a big problem.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think you just read me. That's kind of what happens right now. But it's also like overarching, like, oops, sorry. I like need to, it's just kind of like, I need to compartmentalize this whole thing now, because actually I need to focus on myself a little bit more for a while until it should be like, welcome into my life. Like, come on in.
And that's something that I've even thought about myself as, right. For me, as like, as a man and potentially, a provider, it's like, I want to have, achieved X amount of things before bringing my partner into my life or whatever. And it's like, well, a lot of these achievements, like, they just kind of keep growing sometimes, or like you want to keep setting the bar high. And then there's also like, there's ups and downs as an entrepreneur. You go through ups and downs and highs and lows. So it's like, if you don't see yourself worthy for that person, regardless of what status you reached on your career or whatever, then that person's not going to come around. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me of being like, hey, I'm always going to have big goals. I'm always going to be working on different things. There's always ups and downs or whatever. So perhaps it's like, I've got that growth mindset. I've got this resilience in this thing.
Yeah.
And that the success piece, whatever I call success, because for some people I'm incredibly successful and for some people I'm just getting started, right? So it's like that should not, at least for me, go into account of like the worthiness about getting somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Woo!
Have you seen the quote? I love that.
We talked a lot more about me than I have in a while.
I like that. I think that this was a call. This needed to happen.
That's right. That's right.
The last thing you said reminded me of a quote that I've seen circulating social media, and it was like, it's some of the things I'm like, oh my God, whatever. Like, but because like I do have that response to some things I see on social media. Like, try not to judge, but it was like, it's people in relationships, and like they pop up on my feed, and like it's like it hits, or it's like a different kind of love when, or it hits different when the person you love is like with you while you're still becoming yourself.
Yes.
Ooh, I was like, okay,
Yes.
great. You're lucky. We get it. Fine. Like, that's not my story.
Well, you don't know what you're going to become. Well, you don't know what you're going to become. So even if someone comes around today, who knows, you know? A few years down the line, you may have grown tremendously, and maybe the person that comes along is in a different part of their journey. You know, one thing is interesting. Gosh, we can keep talking about this shit forever. I love it. But it's this is something that I was talking to my coach about a while back, and it was this concept around, as long as someone, whether they're a friend or someone you're dating or a relationship or whatever, is on a path of spiritual growth, and you both accept each other for wherever you are on that path, there's no real like there's no real like high, low, there's no like actual levels that we can like, you know, write down and like judge people for.
Yeah.
So as long as they're on that path, he's like, that's what matters, because sometimes people have quantum leaps about this. And so it's like, you may think that you're on like way ahead of somebody on a spiritual path or whatever, and all of a sudden they had this download and boom, they're ahead of it. So it's like, as long as you're both willing to be on that path, there's something beautiful about that with relationships and friendships or whatever. If someone's like not about it at all, then you're probably just not for each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as we're finishing up here, Justin, if you could talk to yourself 5 years ago, before things took off, or even to now that I'm thinking about more so than 5 years ago, to that kid, that young man that was in that jail cell, what would you say to that kid in that jail cell?
Ooh. Man. I mean, looking back, like, to that kid in the jail cell, like, that kid was cool. That kid had a lot of fun, and like, that kid was like popular, and like, but I had everything wrong. So like, I would say, like, I don't know, I would kind of just leave. I would let him go through it. But I would just like tell him like, it's gonna get way better. But like, you know, if I would have told him that, he probably would have kept doing everything he was still doing.
Interesting.
But like, it was dark.
Yeah.
The darkness that exists was like consuming me at that time. And so like, I would say like, the darkness isn't real, and if you continue, it will become real if you stay. So leave. Like, whatever glimpse, whoever's talking to you right now saying like, just turn away, listen to it, because it was only moments like that, like a glimpse of someone, some friend that I had was like, this is the wrong person, like get away from this person, or like, you shouldn't be doing this. It was like these little like quick downloads that would just come and go. Yeah. Like that, I would just say, listen to those things. Yeah.
Well, Justin, I think awareness is everything. Awareness is everything, and how we can become better humans. I think that you are someone who is very aware, and is definitely, you're always on your path to be better at your craft, specifically around hair, but also spiritually. You're always looking to grow. I think that you're always looking to be a better person in general, and you bring awareness about your craft, and you care about the people that you come in touch with, and I think you have an amazing energy. So I love what you do, and I think that you're a very aware human. What is something that you're looking at right now, looking into the future and into the coming year, that you want to become more aware of or more aware around?
So it's definitely health. It's like, and it's alternative health that like isn't like, I've been on a journey of like my health based on my intuition, not based on what a doctor tells me, because like I've I've been lucky enough to have like, health insurance and all these things from the companies I've been with. And I've just like, it's like a cyclical pattern. It's like, you just go for this and you figure it out and then blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like I was working out and I was like I have fitness goals, I have like a set of goals that I want to accomplish. So like I would realize like as I'm doing the workouts that are going to get me the body that I want and the mindset and the clarity that I need, because like the intense workouts will get me there. I was like getting fatigued. I was getting like super exhausted and like I couldn't actually maintain it. So it was like a struggle to reach my goals. So then I started looking into like holistic doctors and like researching things that like I know are like getting in my way.
Yeah.
And so I've blown my mind. It was since January. I completely figured out like so many things that were actually happening to me that like doctors weren't testing for. Doctors may have just decided not to focus on.
Yeah.
And so like I met with there's a doctor in Santa Monica, her name's Meredith Bull. She like did the most comprehensive testing on me. Like she tested everything. So like if there's something there can test, if there's something I need to test, she tested it. Yeah. Like down to like it was just like it was very, very, very comprehensive. But anyways, I found out there was like pathogens in my gut. There were things that were making me feel fatigued sooner than I should. I was depleted in certain vitamins. Like, she tested my hair. She tested other things. I won't say on here, but like definitely like she checked it all out. And like I was able to like eradicate 2 pathogens. And there was like I had from when I went to Mexico, there's these things called amoebas. It sounds so scary, but I had one. And so I had to do all these cleanses to get rid of those things. And like retested, eradicated all these things. And then now my workouts are completely different. My skin is glowing. My mood is better. And so as I work with a lot of people in the industry, and it's either a coworker or a client, they're sitting in my chair and they're like going through like weight gain or like skin issues. They have dark circles and I can see them. And like, they're so oblivious and they're like, oh no, I'm taking this vitamin. And then of course it's like the plastic bottle from Target. I'm like, that's the type of awareness that I not only will be helping the people in my world with, but like I want collectively for us to like become more aware to to our own hands and like figure out like, no, I don't feel good. And like, I want to live my best life. Cause like you can have all these goals for a relationship, to win an award. You could technically miss opportunities because of ways your body is firing. Yeah. Like if you're firing on like fewer cylinders, something's wrong, it's going to stop you. Like you may not get the promotion. You may not do as well on stage. You may embarrass yourself. Sure. You may not want to go to that opportunity because like certain things can like affect your mood and how you believe in yourself. And like experiencing that, it was a journey from January till now. Yeah. It's mind blowing. Yeah. I went from like depressed and like actually having anxiety and like things would come in and I would have like visions of like a car crashing through like over the sidewalk into me and my dog. Because but certain parasites that you can contract from like fish and like undercooked meat can give you these like irrational negative thoughts. Wow. These surges of negative thoughts. It's crazy. Yeah. So like I go down rabbit holes and I don't want to get too rude with you guys, but it's real. Yeah. And I plan on continuing to figure out like what's going to help me like live at my best potential. Yeah. And like health is like something I never took into consideration. I never said I'm not going to drink tonight. I never said I don't want to go to that party. But this year I did. And like I blown my mind with like, that's amazing. What, even just sitting there feeling content with myself, looking in the mirror and smiling. That's huge. I can do that now, whereas before I was just always tired. I was worried. I was always panicking. Yeah.
Well, I think we're going through a health revolution, and the awareness around this stuff is blowing up like never before. Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we're surrounded in LA by a lot of that, but this world is expanding all over, and it's really cool that that's happening. So I wish you the best with all that. I'm glad you're healthy and you are glowing. So thanks for being on today, Justin. Yeah, of course. This was awesome. So much fun.
It was great. Until next time.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you like the show, please subscribe or share with a homie. It means the world to me. And honestly, straight up, just hit me up. The easiest way on Instagram, SEBNAUM. Ask me questions. I want to be here as a resource and a source of inspiration. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day.
Much love.